Hello, everyone. How in the freaking world are y'all doing? It is Wednesday night. For those who are joining in the chat, feel free to let me know if you can hear and see everything correctly. If you can't, also let me know that. If you don't even want to see me, you can let me know that too. I'm okay with that. I just spent a little bit of time fighting with the cameras. I was having trouble getting the deck cam to link up and work. So I hope all is feeding through. Just someone give me a thumbs up. I know we're a little behind in the chat. Give me a thumbs up. Good so far. Awesome. Hello. Okay. So who we got in here tonight? We got Chris, DJ Alem. Am I saying that right? A-L-E-M. We got the mix master herself, Fly Robin. I don't know who else we have. I'm watching the other chat tonight, the behind-the-scenes chat. So I'm not watching the front chat. Not that there's really anything big different between them. They're practically the same. They're practically the same, I say. I know that was weird. Sorry about that. I'm just moving some stuff around on the screens here. Someone said something about too much pasta tonight. Is there such a thing? Is there really, really such a thing as too much pasta? While we are waiting for everyone to get in, hello, Ed. Welcome. I want to bring up two topics that we can talk about later if you want. We don't have to talk about them at all, but I thought there were two very interesting things that happened this week kind of in my world with people I know and with virtual, some stuff that kind of happened around me, and it kind of didn't surprise me, but it did surprise me in a way. Like I said, later on we can talk about these if you want, but tonight, as you know, for this summer, everybody seems to like the live shows, so we are doing 100% live shows for the summer like this. So we have the decks here set up. I actually got a couple new screens set up so you guys are able to see some stuff. So if we're doing stuff, you can see all kinds of stuff going on at once here. So we're going to be doing some stuff like that. But if you guys have some questions, bring them into the chat. But we are going to do some stuff like that pretty much the whole summer. We're going to do this live, just open questions, see how things go, see what you guys, questions you have, you know, mixing, software, pretty much anything you want, I will do my best to answer. And that's what I'm here for. But the two things I'm going to talk about here just for a second before we get into any questions is that, one, Virtual did an update this week, and I was talking to some other people about this, and one of the updates, which I thought was really strange that they actually had to do, I mean, I guess it makes sense because it includes more people, but it kind of surprised me that they needed to do it. But they, on this last little update, and remember their updates, some of their updates are maybe just updated so that this controller now works with it, sort of thing. But this, one of the things on this latest update is that that Virtual 2018, the new one, which is actually 8.3, whatever they call that. Oh, I can never remember it. I always blank when I go to that. Build. So it's right now, the newest one is 8.3 build 4459. So that's the newest one. So in the build 4459 on 8.3, they added so that it is compatible with and usable with Windows XP, which I thought that was kind of all-inclusive. It was nice of them to do that, but it kind of blows me away to think about people still using XP. I'm sure we probably do have people in the chat. The other night when I talked about it with the Disc Jockey News group, we definitely had people there that still used XP, but I never would have thought of that. So that was my surprise behind it. I'm not busting on Virtual. I'm not busting on XP. I'm just kind of surprised that people still use that, you know, and I guess it's necessary. So they did the update. Again, feel free to throw some questions in the chat. And the other thing, which was kind of interesting for me because I did not see this coming. I mean, I saw it coming, but I didn't think it would be this close to home for me. I have a friend, I'm not going to mention his name. He's a great friend of mine. If he was okay with me talking about his name, I absolutely 100% would mention his name, but I don't want to. A great DJ, and I've talked about him before. Him and I have known each other since we were little kids, and we actually went to high school together. But he was doing these mixes for a local exercise place, I guess you would call it. And he got contacted by the lady who owns it, and said, hey, I've been getting these letters from BMI and ASCAP saying that I owe them money. And she's like, I don't understand. And my friend's like, you know, what do you mean you don't understand? And he goes, well, I'm paying you for the music, because she was paying my friend to make mixes that she used in class, and every couple of weeks he would make her a new mix that she used in her class, and you know, they just kept that up, and she'd pay him for the mixes every couple of weeks. And she thought that was covering her for being a public place playing public music, and she just pretty much ignored all of the letters that they were getting, and now has BMI and ASCAP coming down on her hard about this. And she's like, well, what, you know, he's asking me, what do I tell her? What should she do? And my first thing obviously was get a lawyer, because at this point, you know, they're probably going to be pretty ticked at you. And as him and I were talking, I thought it was kind of neat. I decided to look and just to see what some of the fines were, because I knew some of the fines are big. Now, one of the first things that they're trying to change in that whole law is the difference between an entertainment license and a performance license. Right now, as DJs, we run as an entertainment license. That means that the venue must pay the BMI and ASCAP fees, and it's a certain amount. It's anywhere from $3-something a month up, depending on how many people your venue can fit. So it can be anywhere from $375 up a month that you have to pay, so that songs can publicly be played, whether it be through an MP3 player, a DJ, whatever, to have that through that. There's also then the entertainment license, the performance license, which would be if someone would come in and sing. And they're actually two different licenses. And I read an article last year about a club, a place, a bar, whatever you want to call it, where they always have DJs. Well, one night they decided to have a band come in, and the band did a few of their own songs, but covered 2 or 3 other songs. And BMI fined them because they were paying for the entertainment license but not the performance license, and their fees were almost $20,000 in fines for, I think, 3 or 4 songs, and that's it. So with this lady who is running this exercise place, is now looking at what my friend and I, when we started looking up the stuff on there, that it can be anywhere from $750 up per instance. So if they come in and say, we want to get you for the stuff you didn't pay tonight, and she played 20 songs, and 750 times 20 songs, that's how much she would have to pay. And then if you want to be open tomorrow, you're going to have to pay us the monthly fee, and they can get her back on that. But I had not personally known anybody or any place that had gotten that and gotten into that kind of situation. So I don't know whether I want to say it as an info thing, saying pay attention to the places you're at, make sure they're paying, because you as the DJ are not going to get in trouble as long as you're buying your music legally, because that's the RIA, which is different than the BMI and ASCAP. But if you're paying for your music and getting your music good, and then the other place is not paying, the thing here is not that you'll get in trouble, but like him, he's going to, well, he actually possibly could get in trouble because he can't sell the mixes. But let's just say he was just DJing for them, nothing else, just DJing. He wouldn't get in trouble for playing the music, but if BMI and ASCAP comes down on that exercise place, he's going to be out of a job. So that's something I thought was kind of neat. It never had hit that close to home for me about, royalty rights and stuff like that. So I thought that was kind of, it's an interesting thing to face this week. I really didn't expect it, but I thought both were kind of neat. So that was my first 2 things. We can talk more about them later if you guys want to. We don't have to. I'm here again with the decks are here, so we can do all kinds of questions about whatever you want tonight. It's wide open tonight. We're not going to keep it strictly to mixing questions or software questions or anything. Ask me absolutely anything. But before we do that, we definitely have to say hello to our sponsors, because if it isn't for the sponsors, it would be just me talking to myself, because we couldn't put this show together and be able to broadcast it to you guys. So we definitely want to take some time to thank them. Their links to their different sponsors are down in the show notes below the video. Click on them, go check them out, let them know that you saw them here on Disc Jockey News TV and Music and Mixing, and we will be right back after this extremely short commercial. Tonight's DJNTV show is sponsored in part by Electro Voice, DJ Event Planner, ADJ, NLFX Professional, Promo Only, and DJNTV Insiders. And we're back again. Thank our sponsors for everything they've done, all the help. A lot of great stuff from them, so I really appreciate that. So now we're going to start hitting a few of the questions, if you want, from the chat. So if you have them, if you maybe already typed them in, I missed them, feel free to retype them. But it's pretty much open. Like I said, this whole summer, this is what we're going to be doing, is just open questions, because it's pretty easy. You know, like I said, of nights, if you want to focus on mixing, we'll do some mixing. If nights you want to talk about software, talk about software. It's kind of open to everybody. So, all right, into the chat. What does the headphone mic that I'm using sound? Okay, this one is it's going to be a tough one for me to explain it, and I want to show it to you because it's not what you think it is. I need to go over to Amazon and grab it because that's where I got it from, because I can never remember the name. It has a very odd name to it. But the mic itself, when did I get that? I got that this year or last year? I think I got that last year. I have to scroll through. So this, for those of you who know, I'm scrolling through Amazon seeing all the things I bought, but I'm not going to show you all the things I bought. I must have bought it last year in 7. I think I did buy it in 17. Scrolling. It's not that one. Lots of stuff here for technology that I've purchased over the last year. Cords, adapters, extensions, screen protectors. Here it is. It's called Headset Buddy, okay? And let me do this and do this. Whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. Let's go backwards. And let's do this and... All right, so now I'm going to show the left deck here. Second here, left screen capture. Okay, so this is all that it looks like right here. So this is the mic, okay? This here is a little thing that on the end there you stick to any headphones whatsoever you want. And then that little, you can see the V there in the center and the thing down below it, this down here, is a magnet, so that this part right here that's inside the square stays on the stays on the headphones, and then this can detach and attach, and then you just plug it in. So this is what it would look like if, you know, attached to mine. And it's just a straight little plug. If I can get that closer, I guess I can't make that closer. But it's called the Headset Buddy Move Mic. They actually have a second one. It's real cheap. They have a second one that actually wraps over your ear, which I think is actually a little bit better, and it's more expensive. I haven't looked into purchasing it yet. But here's the thing that if I have to switch one thing here. Hold on before we go any further. All right, there we go. Okay, so if I were to, I have this also hooked up to a, I run all my sound for all of this because there's a lot going on here in this one computer. But I'm running my sound through a Behringer. I can never say the word XENYX, Xenix, I guess that's pronounced. The Xenix 302, which is a really small USB mic. So all the stuff's running through it. So what I'm going to do is, because I know how, I talk a lot when people ask me about microphone stuff, I talk about how that you have to learn how to tune your own voice for things. So I can hand a mic to you, and I'll need to tune it differently to make you sound good, and then the next person, so on and so forth. And if you spend any time being a DJ, you know that's true, that not everybody sounds the same. and I know how my voice works. So what I'm going to do is right now I'm going to put it only has 2 adjustments, a high and low and a right and left adjustment on the mic. I'm going to put the high and low dead center flat and let you hear the difference. Okay, so this is dead center flat, nothing special. The mic obviously doesn't sound as good, it doesn't sound as loud, but because I know how my voice works, all I do is on the Behringer on both the channels, and this is the honest truth because I had to play around to get what I wanted out of this mic, is that I took both the high and low channels and took them all the way to the top. So here we go. And we're all the way back up to the top, and everything's full max on both of them, and that's how I get the sound I have. Bring the volume down, pop those up, and I get that. So again, it's not always mic, it's sometimes your voice. I know my voice works very well. I know I can walk into a place and tell the sound guy, put my mic at half the volume you do everybody else's, because I just know how my voice carries. And I bump a little bass and pull a little treble, and I kind of get the same sort of feel. And I've been touring since the 90s doing this, and I know how I kind of set up my voice when it comes to things. So it sounds very different with that. And like I said, it's a $20 mic that just attaches to a headphone. I have some other nice studio mics and stuff that John likes us to use with stuff, but I like this because I talk with my hands, and when I'm sitting at the desk, we do the shows like the Monday Night Chat or whatever, and I have the bigger mic there, I'm always hitting the mic. So that's why I went to this, but then when I got it, I had to kind of make it sound good, and that's what I did. So that's the work on that. Hope that answered the question. There's a newer version, so if you want to check that out. Yeah, the commercial, again, it's how I set it here. I can set the mic louder if I want to set it. The commercials at one point, because you got to understand with this thing, I've got the commercial volume, I've got me volume, and I've got the music volume that I'm controlling all on 3 separate things. They're not, the volume for the music's coming from the 7000. The volume for the mic is coming from the Behringer, and the volume from the commercials is coming from the computer. Because we talked about using high-end DJ computer for things. That's why I bought this computer with all the stuff it has. Instead of buying a little cheap $500 computer, I paid $1,100 for it, which isn't even all that expensive. And right now I've hooked up to it, besides the camera that it has built into it, I have that camera there, which is a Logitech camera. I have a GoPro, a fake GoPro here running off of it. I have the sound card running off of it. I have the main monitor, obviously it shows there with the program, and I have a second monitor hooked up over here that is running my video broadcasting software on top of letting me see the feed and stuff like that. So it's a little bit of everything, and that's why kind of, like I said, I like to use it. It just, I guess that was my question, is why I choose that and why I run that with that. I have trouble with echoing a song out. What should I set the length, and why can't I hear it echo when I'm playing the new song on the other deck? All right, let me teach you a little something here, which is kind of complex, but isn't. So you can choose with the controllers and the programs to have an audio effect. I'm just going to say any audio effect. We're talking about echo, and I'll show it to you in a minute. But any audio effect, you can assign it specifically to the right deck, specifically to the left deck, specifically to the main out, and then pre and post fader. So that means I'm going to show, which would be the best way to show this here? I'm going to show on the over here. Give me a second here. All right, so you can see everything I'm doing here and up above. They may not be synced because I think there's a little bit of lag right now. But I have an echo here, and if I switch over to, because I have all these set up as different audio video effects, so these are all multiple layers, because that's 2 layers, that's 2 layers, that's 2 layers, that's 2 layers, okay? So all of mine are set up there. So if I go to the second one over, which is my effects, this right here is just a straight echo, okay? So if I were to put that echo on, you can hear the echo. But I have the echo set up post fader, so that means that I can pull the volume down, the sound stops, but the effect continues on the main channel only. It comes out into that. So if I press that echo, it's not going to affect this side. That echo's not affecting. It's only affecting there. But because it's post fader, when I stop it, that effect continues. So with your echo length, you kind of have to determine what you want to do with the echo length, number one. Whether it to be just an echo, because there's no difference between an echo and an echo out. I put mine to the length to create an echo out. If I were to leave that on, go back to here. If I were just to leave that on, that's with it off. And if I pull that up over here, this is my settings right there. So I have strength at 50, length at 49. I have it half bit and high pass at 2000. So the echo kind of gets, you can set it what you want it to there, but that's that. But why I use it is because I have it then teamed on this button right up here. So if you see the small screen at the top, where I then, when I trigger this one button, these are my dedicated effects buttons that I don't have to go down here and switch screens. So if I'm doing my cue points or whatever, they're there. I don't have to switch to my audio effects over here. I have 3 dedicated up here, and one of them is an echo. And the thing with the echo is that I have it double layered. So if I go up here and go to edit, and we're going to look at audio, custom audio. And, nope, sorry. Looking in the wrong area there. We're going to go here, and we're going to go options, and we're not options, controllers. I keep forgetting what I'm even looking for here. And what I'm hitting is I'm hitting the FX1 on. So we go down to find we FX1 on. And as you see there, by the language, I'm hoping you guys can see that there or not. It's not showing it, is it? No. Let me do this and come back to here. Nope, it's not showing that window. Let me see if I can do it with the left screen capture. Yeah, there we go, with the left screen capture. Okay, so this is controller underneath your config, and it's all the buttons that are there and the programming. So what I ended up doing is I added this double effect to that one button. So when I trigger that one button, it triggers my flanger, which if I go back here and do the flanger by itself, flanger on, flanger off, flanger on, flanger off, echo on. So the purpose for that now, so when I trigger both with this one button, I'm triggering flanger and echo. It gives me a flanged echo, so that at one point, when I pull the volume down, so at one point you can see the red there, it's up. So I'm going to play the song and then trigger the flange and echo at the same time, and then pull it down, and it's going to give me a flanged echo out. So if I leave it up, it's just a flanged echo effect that continues, or if I pull it down, it's then a flange echo out. So flange echo on, flange echo off, flange echo out. And it gives you a flanged echo out. And that's the purpose that I do that. So there isn't necessarily a length that you need to do for the flange or the echo or any of that. It's just how you want it to sound. And if you want an echo for an echo out is one thing. If you want an echo for an echo out, you might want it so many beats, so you might only want that echo to last 4 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4, and stop. So your echo might be 1, 2, 3, 4, out. So I want my echo to be done in 4 beats. So that's kind of why I did the shorter echo. If you want an effect, you might want to take that echo and make it even shorter to give it that, or you might want to take it longer to kind of give it more of a dreamy effect. So it kind of depends on what you are intending to do with that effect. So there, I can't give you a straight one way or the other, but you can set them up to be post or pre-fader. So if I did that pre-fader, that means that when I pull the volume down, the echo would also come down with the volume. So that's what it means by pre-fader. That means that if I pull the volume, if it's up, the echo's on. I pull the volume down, both the song and the effect go away with the volume. But post means that it stays and lingers after the volume is pulled down. So I hope that explained that, because there's a lot of weird stuff right there, I know. What are the things I look at when you playing a new bar or club for the first time? Paycheck. Not kidding you. No. Paycheck's one. Number two, do I feel safe there? Is it a rowdy place that I don't feel safe, both parking lot and inside? Because there are places I've been offered that I looked them up online and said, no way, no thank you. So, again, I'm not saying that's what you should do, because a lot of people are just about making a paycheck. So if somebody offers them a paycheck for a job, they just take it. They don't care. And that's fine if that's what you want to do. I don't. I've worked day jobs before. I know I can quit DJing, go work a day job because I have a college degree, go work a day job and make literally double what I make as a DJ. But as a DJ, I get to control where I work, who I work for, hours I work. If I don't feel safe somewhere, I just don't work there. And if, like, there's places I've been that I absolutely love, they changed management. I did not like the way the new management was running things. I waited till I, shopped around a bunch of other places, said I'm available for Friday night or Saturday night or whatever night I was DJing there, get another job, and say, hey, I'm going to move on to this job. I recommend this guy. We've had him in here a couple times as fill-ins, and the manager will probably be like, oh, okay, yeah, I liked him, and roll with it. And that could be all the difference there is to it. So stuff like that, like I said, I look at a lot of things. Safety, pay, is the crowd obnoxious? Because there was a place I did up north of the city that paid very well, but the crowd was so freaking aggressive. I remember one night, I'm standing there, my friend Michael Chilson was with me, and we still laugh about it. And the bouncers were literally, like an arm's length away on the other side because where the DJ booth was, they were hanging right there. And the dude come up and ask for a Meek Mills song. And for those of you who know Meek Mills, he doesn't have that many hits. And I had his 2 hits. And I said, I have these 2. And he was like, no, those both suck. I want this one. I'm like, well, I don't have that one. I'm sorry. Can I play one of the other one? He goes, that's why you suck. That's why you suck. And he starts doing this like John Cena, screaming at me. Tell you you suck. That's why you're just screaming at me. And I'm screaming back at him like, you're an idiot. What are you, freaking John Cena? I'm just yelling. And Michael's laughing, and I point him out. I was like, what the heck's up with this? And they just kind of turn back at the guy, and the guy just kind of just walks off, and that's it. Never speaks to me again the rest of the night. But that crowd, even though it paid really well, I didn't like the crowd. I didn't like the way they kind of behaved. I didn't like the way that they talked to me as a DJ. So I was like, okay, I'm done. Please don't. I'm not going to come back. And I didn't come back. That's kind of my choice with that. Sometimes it's pay. There are places I DJ where I don't make much money off. I told you how much I made for 3 or 4 hours of DJ, and you were like, really? That's it? But I like it because it's secure, it's safe, they like me there. I don't have to play stupid music I don't want to play. I can be creative, I can be fun. There's a lot. So again, it all depends. But again, if you're a person who's wanting it for a paycheck, you can just look at the paycheck. You kind of have to decide. My headphone thingy, so we were just talking about this, and it's rattling on me there. You kind of have to decide what you want out of the job. So, if you want fame and fortune, you're probably going to have to DJ a lot of places that you hate just to get out to the places that are going to give you that recognition. So, that's how I look at that. Reading on down in the questions, James has joined us. Hello, James. There's Jim and Jimmy, so we have 2. Feel free to drop the questions. I'm trying to keep trying the chat. I got a couple going on here. We're obviously for this summer, because we're not doing YouTube, Facebook. It's just here only. But again, for those of you who missed it late, pretty much the rest of the summer it's going to be like this. It's going to be open questions, open decks, just talking, showing whatever we need to kind of show there. Because there's not a lot of prep for this, and I kind of want to enjoy summer. I've got a couple projects I'm trying to work on, trying to keep my brain intact this summer. For those of you who don't know me, I tend to get overwhelmed with things pretty quickly, and I leave myself a lot of space in life to kind of balance. My mental health is really, really, really important to me. My physical health is really, really important to me. I've had bad both in the past. Again, with the day job that ran me pretty much into the ground. It was bad, and I've got a point where I kind of control it, so I kind of watch things. And this summers, because there's so much more going on besides extra gigs, stuff going on with friends, stuff going on in the neighborhood, I kind of try to give myself a little bit of breathing room. So with doing these shows where I answer questions, I don't have as much prep time. but you guys seem to like this, you know, because we talked about that before, where I did a show a few weeks ago that was pre-recorded, and it was my lowest number ever. So if you guys like these open question nights like this, you know, we can, even if you want to send me something ahead of time and say, hey, please show us the two newest songs mixed together, I'll prep them and make sure everything's ready so that you can hear and see them. But we can talk about anything you want on here. It can be business level stuff. I think the question the guy asked a few minutes ago about the echo information, that's a great question, because audio effects are a strange thing, because some people use them well. Some people use them a lot and use them well. Some people use them a lot and use them terribly. Some people don't use them very much and use them well, and some people don't use them very much and use them terribly. So it can be an odd little thing to balance out when and where you want and how you want to use them. So, okay. Back to the questions. Do you hear yourself wearing the headphones with this mic? Ivan, are you talking about this mic or when I'm DJing? Because they're two different things. We'll get back to Ivan as soon as he says that. Turntable to the left. Turntables to the left. Oh, as Jimmy was talking about the fact, and you're not the only one. If you go back and look at older videos, I'm going to explain this a little bit. Jimmy is very much a lot of DJs are specifically one-sided, and I bust on DJ Cadillac all the time about this. Even though he's very talented on both sides, every DJ has a prominent side that they're better at. Every DJ except, I must say, DJ Flair. DJ Flair has to be probably one of the most evenly balanced DJs I've ever seen, because he looks exactly the same if he's on the left deck or if he's on the right deck. But Jimmy was talking about how he's really strong one way, where he wants to put both his turntables on one side and the mixer on the right side. And you're not the only person who does that. If you go look at old videos of DJ Qbert, that's how he used to rock it, with two turntables. Instead of having a turntable mixer turntable, it was turntable turntable mixer. So that's what he was talking about that. Okay, we're going back here. Ivan, yes. Yes to which? Yes. Oh, using the mic right now, yes. And that is the purpose. He's asking if I can hear myself in the headphones using this mic. And that's the purpose that I decided to go with the external USB mixer. And it's the cheapest, smallest one. You can get better ones than this. You can get a lot better ones than this. But this one was, it was less than $50 if I remember right. But I got it so for the fact that a lot of times, depending on what mics you use, because of USB delay in things, you talk into a mic, and let's say I'm recording myself, or doing a mix or something, because of the time it takes the mic to go into the USB and come back out through whatever sound you're using, you tend to have a delay on that. But by using this, it has a direct feed, so whatever mic you plug into here, if I were to plug a mic into the computer or plug a mic into here, there'd be a little bit of delay. But because I'm running both the headphone and the mic off of this one single mixer, I get to hear them both at the same time and evenly. If I can drag this up here without kicking this off, I'll drag it in front of this camera and show it to you so you can see it. Deck only. And I've shown this before. It's a little tiny mixer. Nothing all that fancy. Headphone, microphone, because this thing has the small mic, but it also has the full mic over there. It has other lines in, so I can run other lines in if I want. As you can see, both the high and low, I don't even know how you can see that they're there. My high and low for me doing the mic, remember I told you how it's very flat when I do that, and if I push them both to the top, that's how I get that, and that's the settings on it. This is for if I had speakers hooked up, I could come out from here with speakers in here, and then this is my headphone volume that I hear myself. And it's really basic, but it gets done what I want it to get done. It's not going to serve everybody's purposes, but it's going to do that. So yes, I can hear both, and that is part of the reason why I chose that, because I like to. It just helps when you're doing a talking show to be able to tell your balance and your fluctuations and stuff like that. Which sources do you use to sell used DJ equipment? Actually I have 3 that I use to sell DJ equipment. And they're really basic, and they're not always the best way to go. I will recommend other ones besides the 3 that I use. Is Craigslist. I use Facebook Marketplace, and my 3rd one that I use is just right on all my social medias. I'll pop it on my Facebook page, I'll pop it on my Twitter feed and say that I have that. Other people use different things like flea market, DJ flea markets, because there's probably one for every city in the world. You know, there's a Pittsburgh DJ flea market, and it's just for guys in the Pittsburgh area selling equipment, and it's for stuff within driving distance. So with social media today, you can do a lot with a little. And like I said, just by doing the Facebook Marketplace, doing Craigslist, and just throwing it on your social media, a lot of times people will share it, so you'll get a chance that, you know, if your friend so-and-so DJ says, hey, I think, you know, what's his name, was looking for a pair of these, and he'll just tag, you know, they'll tag somebody's name in it and go that way with it. And that's how I've sold the past few things that I've had for sale. An older mixer, I had an old Newmark mixer that I had for sale, went through Craigslist, and the other ones went through Facebook stuff recently. I had some old Denon CDJ players that went that way. So both of those work for me. How do you set the proper levels on your controls versus your speakers? Oh, gosh, Ivan, why do you have to bring this up, buddy? Because no one likes the way I do things, ever. Okay. I don't even know if I want to get into this because we started a whole argument last time about stuff. Virtual, and I know the other programs do it, they have a thing called auto gain and remember. And it's one of the things I love about this is because even the old songs I have, it will recognize that it needs to bring them up. I don't have to run the song through a separate audio software. So if I had an MP3 that I downloaded off Napster a zillion years ago that's not very loud, Virtual will see that, and it will automatically bump up the gain. And I'll show you here on, is this what I want to do? Yeah. So I'm going to go down through here, and I'm going to pick some songs, and what you're going to do is you're going to watch right here to see which one of these songs it either bumped the gain up automatically. I didn't touch this, and I'm not going to touch the gain on the computer. You're going to see it bump up or down automatically right there, okay? So I'm just going to start clicking and loading, seeing what it's doing. See if I can find something that's lower or above. All those are pretty steady. These are all kind of newer. So let me jump off the newer songs and let me go back over here. This is some 80s stuff. So there. Okay, you see the Brass Monkey was a little low and it went up a little higher. So this is the Larry D video mix. I'm going to go back to it and you watch the gain drop back. Drops back to normal, and Brass Monkey needed to be popped up a little bit. Tricky's regular. Just some of these you're going to see are just going to bump up. And I let that do pretty much everything. It does such a good job, in my opinion, that it really... There's another one that just jumped up. Mr. Loverman, Shabba Ranks was a little low. It pops that up. And you'll find some that are the other way now, especially with some of the newer songs, they tend to bump those really hard, is that you'll see some that need to go. There's another one, the Safety Dance went up. I'm going to go back up here into some newer ones and see if we can find some newer ones that... maybe it's too loud, because you will find some newer ones where it's too loud and Virtual will pop them down. But you get the point there. So with using that, I'm going to go back to here. With using that, the way I run that is I never touch my gains the whole night. Never touch them ever, okay? My high-low filters in the middle, all those are in the middle. When I'm playing a song, the volume's always 100% up all the time. So whatever's in there, that's always there. Then what I change my volume on is either the booth volume or the main, and I'll usually have my QSCs at halfway, and then just run everything off of this in the booth, and that's it. So every song goes all the way up, because these two are now controlling per channel. So all I want is them up. And you'll see I have these up, even though the gains are down. These are active channels, but they're out of the way, because let's say I'm mixing these. That gets in the way for mixing. So if I'm here, they didn't do a good job down here of these. So I just push them out of the way, kill the gains so that they're there. If I need them, I can use them, but they're out of the way, so if I'm mixing, I can have that out of there. So that's the way I run mine, is that I just run them all the way up all the time, all night long. But the main and stuff is how I control my volume. And which, like I said, because the way this runs, and again, I've had so many people argue with me about that you shouldn't do this, and then they'll stand next to me. I've literally had guys who have been DJing for as long as I have will say, you can't do that. And I'll walk over to their system, not mine, their system, tweak it this way, and I'll stand there, and their speakers, main speakers, are at half. This is at about half, and they're like, I can't believe how clear that sounds, and you're not even pushing it. I said, yeah, it leaves it a lot more room to grow. And like I said, everybody kind of complains that that's not the way you do it, especially the old school guys. But with modern technology, I'm telling you, this works. I'm out DJing 3 times a week. Part of the time I'm using house system. Part of the time I'm using mine. So this same setup works whether I'm plugged into a club or a cheap bar setup or my own QSC 12s or whatever. Or I have a little alto system. It works for me that way. So again, if I don't want to start a fight, because last time we did this, I started a fight. People were like, don't do that. So if you disagree with me, great. Find out whatever works for you. Go with it. All right, moving on. Price. I have a Pro Infinity license. Is that good license for virtual DJ? Yes, it is the best license because that's what I have as a Pro Infinity that I bought with Virtual 7. So now I have Virtual 8, and I don't, there's nothing with that I ever have to purchase again. So every time Virtual does an upgrade, every time Virtual adds something, every time somebody puts something in there to download, I never, ever, ever have to pay for anything ever again. Ever. Ever, 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 ever. So if you have that license, you paid for it once, you're done. It's not going to cost you another dime, aside from if you use their download services, you know, like the I forget what they're called, the karaoke, the audio, and the video that you can download, you know, through Wi-Fi. So that's why I use that. Which are more comfortable with CDJs or controllers? I'm guessing, I'm more comfortable. I'm going to be honest with you. Controllers, I've used CDJs for years because for years that was my only option. But I never liked them. I just don't like the feel of them. They just feel weird to me. And I can't explain it. Other Pioneer controllers I like. Some of the newer CDJs I like. But some of the older ones, I just never liked the feel. But I have friends that swear by the older ones. So it's one of the things that where people get into the arguments about DJing and equipment and software. A lot of times it just comes down to what you're used to. If you're used to the feel of a certain turntable or a certain knob or a certain type of button and you change that, that other button may not be worse, but it may be just so different that it makes you not want to ever touch it again. So it kind of also depends on what you want to carry with you, whether you want to carry 1 or 3. So if I went through a night with 2 CDJs and a mixer and I had a CDJ go bad, I could still finish the night with a CDJ and a mixer. But if I walk in with a controller and something goes bad, I don't have the other deck to work with. So there's advantages to having 3, but sometimes there's more weight to carry. So I like the controllers myself. I like the programmability of them. You know how I like to do all the MIDI mapping and stuff. So those are what I kind of like with that. Yes, you can absolutely increase the waveform display. I'll show that here. I don't like I'm only going to move it a second because I'm really picky about where mine is set here. Left screen. Okay, so I'm guessing you want to see it on the stock screen. So I have to go back here and go to default. All right, so on default, these are... Okay, we'll start on the left side. This is your zoom in, zoom out slider. I'm not going to touch it because I don't want mine to be messed up. But this is a zoom in, zoom out slider, okay? And then these here are for recording. So you can actually have 2 different settings, recording and bringing back your memory. So like let's say certain types of your mixing, you want a wider waveform. You can record it and save it with the save, and then move that and jump to a closer waveform, you know, where you're zoomed in more, and then when you're ready to go back to the other one, you go back to the default and jump back to the different waveform. And that also is the same for the scratch waveforms. Those can also be zoomed in and out, and also chosen the way you're doing them with grid lines and stuff like that on there. So they can be, it's so customizable, it's not even funny what you want to do, but I personally go for the Controller HD by Denyo with my little thingies there, and I'm real picky about how that's set up. So Have I ever addressed have I ever had to address someone saying you're not a real DJ and you use Serato argument, and I'll stand next to them and go, let's do a little thing. I'll jump on your Serato and DJ, you jump on my virtual and DJ. I'll jump on your turntables and DJ, you jump on my controller and DJ. At the end of the night, I'm going to be DJing on all of them comfortably. Not comfortably, but I can do all of them. You may not be able to. So what makes us a DJ? One who can DJ on anything, or one who only uses one software? I just get in people's faces going, mixing's mixing, and you know I can mix, and stand here and watch me mix if you don't believe me. You know, because to me, mixing isn't software. Mixing is ears and hands, what you're doing. Because that waveform is still going to go by. You're still going to pick a song and you're still going to mix it. And that software isn't going to change how you mix it. So you're still going to beat match it. You're still going to blend it. You're still going to scratch it in. You're going to scratch it out, heck, whatever. So it's a moot argument to me. It wasn't moot prior to Virtual 7. Prior to Virtual 7, Virtual 6 was crap. And I would have told people that. That's why I didn't go to Virtual, because it was terrible. And Virtual 7 became this whole new animal that was so freaking rock solid it wasn't even funny. And then now they went to Virtual 8, which is Virtual 8 2018 is still Virtual 8. So don't get that mixed up. It's still Virtual 8. And they're claiming, and I would like to see some numbers on this, they're claiming that of all the DJ softwares, it's the one with the least amount of crashes. So I don't care, because I know people. I'll just tell people, if you don't believe me, stand and watch me. And then that's it. I put my money where my mouth is. I do what I do, and I choose the software because I love to customize. Everybody knows I like to customize, and that's why I kind of choose it. Can you get over the one more time? Can you get over the one more time with the sound levels? Can you go over one more time with the sound levels? Again, super simple because of the way the software works. It does here in the settings, and I'll jump over to the settings here real quick. You guys got some great questions tonight. I want to go to left screen capture, and we're going to go here. And if you go into settings and search for gain, there's auto gain, no auto gain, remember, and auto gain and remember. So remember setting would be you set it where you want it to be, and it will remember that. And auto gain and remember is where it reads it and decides what it needs to do and then adjusts it. So I keep mine, the physical knob in the gain will always stay exactly the same. It's always going to be right in the dead center. And then I let the computer do the rest of the stuff itself, and then the main volume right here, or the booth volume, is what I do with what comes out into the speakers. And that's my kind of logic behind that. Let me go back here, make sure I know I'm missing the question here. The meat and potatoes. Yes, I love meat and potatoes too. By the way, I'm just saying that. YouTube, that's the thing that I think this is a good point that Howie made right there, that someone posted on the Virtual DJ forum, I want to learn to DJ, is there any place I can take classes? Well, first off, if you want to take classes, I have classes. But what someone said is go to the internet, because there are, and I know a lot of people go, oh, I don't want to go to the internet. That's just, you run into a bunch of people that don't know what they're doing. There is a lot, but if you really take the time to dig, there's a lot of great, and I mean really great videos out there that answer any question you want. And this is my joke that I always do too. I said, if you're not afraid of being taught by a 12-year-old filming in his bedroom while his mom's yelling in the other room how to do something, there's a lot of great 12-year-olds out there that teach you how to set up technology and do things. But there's a lot of great videos from a lot of different presenters out there. So if you had a question, I invite you first to come to me Wednesday nights with the question, but if not, then you can go to a bunch of other ones with questions, because trust me, I go to a bunch of different guys and check out videos for things, because it's a good way to stay on top of stuff. How do I do this? Like the setting I did to get that double effect on an out. See if I can show it here on this. I'm not even sure if I'm going to be able to show it on this. We're going to go left screen. I'm going to go up here to, nope, I'm not going to go there. I'm going to go here to edit. And then I think if I look at custom audio on pad. Where was it at? On one of these, I had to change it. No, custom video. There it is right there. Because I wanted an effect to be not channel driven, but external driven. So I had to do video select plugin in there, and there was another one that was the same way that I also had to do deck master video effects. So by going and finding a video, I was able to determine how to get the effect to work, the video effect, keep in mind it's a video effect, to the master channel on the effect select from the plugins and the effect that I want to go. So that little setting, just to be able to type this in here, I couldn't figure out how to get it on the master the way I wanted it to. And by going and looking it up, someone had that little line there that I then had to tweak the line a little bit to get what I wanted, and I got what I wanted. Serato is a great program. I have it loaded here. So, you know, for those back into talking about Serato, I have it here, and I use it from time to time just to test with it. But I like virtual because it's customizable. But on the same sense as the opposite side, someone who wants the software to be the same. So if I'm walking up to my friend Pat and DJing with him, he runs Serato, it's not going to seem familiar to me, the screen. So we could even have the same setup, but because he's using Serato and mine, it's not going to seem the same to me. So a lot of guys like Serato because I would say that most DJs who DJ in clubs like I do, I would say a large majority of DJ clubs like I do, use Serato, and they like to be able to walk in, hang out with their buddies, drop down and do something, and be the screen and the skin and everything be exactly the same. So there's a comfort level with that is really important, I think. I just like to customize. I like to make things look like I like. Like I said, I wanted 3 dedicated buttons for effect, and I wanted that one dedicated button to be 2 effects together, and I wanted it to be a post thing effect, and virtual kind of lets me do that easy. Not saying the Serato doesn't. Serato absolutely does, but it kind of, you know, helps me. That's why I like it. Plus, I can pick the skins I want if I don't want a lot of skins. You know, the reason I pick the skin that I choose is because it lets me see a lot more songs. I like to see a lot of songs. So yes, Howie mentioned something there. If you want videos on how to do stuff, there's this little place called Disc Jockey News that you guys can check out that has all kinds of videos. I have lots of them on there about everything. Every time I turn around, somebody asks me about something, I'm like, I did a video on that a month ago. I did a video on that 2 months ago. This one's here. I just posted one recently that I said I did this video in January. Go check it out. So there's lots of stuff out there, like I said, but still, please come back Wednesday nights. I hope you guys are liking this open question thing. It works for me. It really does. I mentioned this before, and I actually talked to a couple of people this week about it. And the whole how people watch entertainment is unique to each person. And I have friends. I was just talking to a lady the other day. I DJ for a company that she works for, and she doesn't listen to music aside from what they do at that company. When she says when she's away from the company, she's listening to audio books or like speeches to help better herself. And you can definitely tell she works hard at you know, taking the next level. And trust me, what she's listening to works. So she likes to listen to the talking and stuff like that. I have another friend that he likes to listen to talk radio to stay up on current events. I'm on the other end of that, where my goal is to never hear a human being speak when I have headphones on ever. I just want music. Whether it be, and a lot of times, if you look at my Spotify playlist, there's a lot of instrumental playlists on there. House instrumental, chill out instrumental, piano. I was just listening this afternoon, a piano instrumental playlist on Spotify. So a lot of times I don't want to hear people talking. So it's tough for me with this show to understand why you guys like it. So explain to me what you like, and I'll do more of it. So that's like I'm saying, because it's tough. I don't take in content like I'm presenting. I don't take in talking content. So if you guys help me to know what you want, I can, you know, really tweak this show and hopefully make it entertaining and good. So that's all up there for that. We are just about out of time. Can you do a video on different ways to echo and how to set up your custom echo? That's possible. I can do that. That's because it's tricky. And also keep in mind that there are the way the plugins work, and I'm going to throw your brain for this. If you're a video DJ, now you can make video effects that match the audio effects. So if I have a stutter, I can make the video stutter along with the stutter effect. Or if there's an echo effect, it can make the video have a video effect, and then you also have to set that video effect to post fader effect. So you're doing like 4 effects, 2 for audio, 2 for video. So it could be complicated, but I think I might be able to do that. Echo out. I with all the virtual stuff, Pioneer's built-in echo, I think, is probably one of the best ones out there. The S9 mixer is probably one of the best echo outs I've heard. I love it, love it, love it. Could not find anything for virtual. I'll let you hear the ones that are here on virtual, the stock ones. I'm not a fan of them. That's why I did that double flanged echo out to get what I wanted. So we're going to go back over here real quick. We're just about out of time. Left screen. So I'm going to play this song here. And I'm going to go here. And this is loop out echo by them. And I really did not like that that echo there. And then they have another one that they did that's called, that was the loop out. So the other one they did is called, I think it's just called Echo. I think so. It sounds like this. That's just echo. No. What I want is, and I can never remember what it's called. I don't like it because what it does is it basically creates a volume lowering loop. And I don't even remember what that effect is called now. I may have removed it because I didn't like it so bad. Loop out, that's what it's called. So it would sound like this. This is the loop out. And then you can shorten the loop out to be shorter than that, like half beats. So it would be... Oops, there's the half and the quarter. It's set on 1. So I just don't like the way it sounds. And those are the ones that they offer. That's why I kind of did my own. But those are the stock ones that it comes from that. But like I said, I like my flanged echo out so that I kind of get that. I can get that effect. Quick effect or a long effect. So I can do that chop, chop, chop or a long smooth with the same thing by depending on how long I hold on before I pull the volume down. So if I pull it down quick, 5, 6, 7, 8, drop it on 8, it's going to be chop, 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 chop. If I go 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, then bring it down, it's going to give me a longer kind of feel. So just by me, the reason I chose that one is just by me, when I choose to pull down the volume, changes the style of effect. And that's, I kind of am a hands-on person, so I kind of want to change that. So, we're out of time. Thank you guys. It's a great show. I'm possibly not going to do a show next week because I have a gig and I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it back in time to do the show. So maybe we'll do something with John on another night. Maybe we'll skip next week. I don't know. I'm going to have to wait and see if I'm going to be able to make it, pack up there, and get back to here in time to do both in the same day. So I'll keep you guys informed on that as we go along. But in between time, if you have any questions, you want to take any DJ classes, anything like that, hit me up. I'm on just about every single social media there is on the entire planet. But hit me up on any of those, or Secret Message, or Smoke Signal, or Buy Me Lunch, or whatever. I don't care. But until next time, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and God bless.